This meeting will now come to order. Cindy, could we have a roll call, please?
Director Arthur?
Present.
Director Cockill?
Present.
Director Giannini?
Present.
Director Leeser?
Present.
Director Woods?
Present. Thank you, Cindy. Amy, would you please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. Please stand. Ready, begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Amy. Are there any? Yes, Bob. Stand by. I'm gonna figure out how to get this on here.
So could I be suited under 218 for that?
All right. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
There are none.
There are none. Thank you, Matt. Public comments. Please complete a request to be heard at the start of the meeting. And you can get those from Cindy Foltz. Any questions about that? Item number 1, appoint a representative and alternative to the Association of California Water, whatever it is, Joint Powers Insurance thing.
Good afternoon, President Giannini and members of the board. Today before you is an appointment for a representative and an alternate to the ACWA JPIA. So ACWA is the Association of California Water Agencies Joint Power Insurance Authority. So that is who our insurance representative is. With the departure of Director Horn, the district would be looking to appoint a new director as the representative, and staff is making the recommendation for the general manager to become the alternate. And besides a discussion and somebody nominating a representative, I open it up for open discussion.
Are there any questions? No? Yes, David.
How much activity does this require? How much interaction, how often?
If we're going to, so if we go to ACWA meetings, committee meetings, any kind of decisions that need to be made through our, we don't do a lot of ACWAs. So being part of the joint power, we have to have a representative on the board. But there are committee meetings through ACWA that we can form. And again, if you guys have an alternate in me, I can go to ACWA and still vote on certain committee issues and stuff. It's not a huge commitment. It's just a requirement that the district has to have an ACWA JPI member.
How much reviewing is there document-wise and legislation? What all do they,
Changes each time.
what are they?
Yeah, it kind of depends on how big the docket is for legislation, but sometimes it's not just legislation. Sometimes you're diving into the different committees for ACWA JPIA as well. So we haven't been a lot of times too involved. Director Horn was our representative for the past 6 years, I believe, maybe
Longer than
longer.
that, I believe.
It was when or if you attend the Aqua JPI meeting.
Yeah, so
yes,
you
they have
can
the
go to
pre-
committees and
committee
review.
meetings.
So do we know how many times Susie went and participated? Or? And how much lead time does one get on those?
They're twice a year. They're with the Aqua, the regular conferences that Aqua puts on twice a year. And on, I believe it's a Monday, usually before the actual conference starts, it will be all committee meetings that day. And if you happen to go to Aqua, you would go to those committee meetings prior to the actual conference.
Yeah, do they move them around the state or is it?
Yes, it's all over the state.
Okay.
The last one was in Rancho Mirage, but being that close was very unique. Others, I've been to one in Sacramento. Where else have I gone?
They're in Monterey.
Yeah,
It just,
Monterey,
they try to do 2 a year. One's in Northern California, one's in Southern California. Have we participated a ton in the committee meetings? No, we have not.
Susie didn't go to the committee meetings even when we went to the conferences.
Yeah, there's a lot of legislative,
That's what she
where your policies are at. So again, looking for, us to have a representative, and again, I'm making the recommendation, I'll be the alternate, but a board member has to be the representative, so.
Good, I nominate Director Arthur.
Fine by me?
Good.
I second.
Done.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Good.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. I'll play my questions, I'll help you.
If you need someone to babysit Glory, I will be more than happy to. Let's see.
She'll be at the meetings.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Item number 2, discussion of inactive meters.
So this afternoon, district staff would be looking to have just an open discussion on charges for inactive meters throughout the district. Currently, the district does not charge for inactive meters. And so for us to look at inactive meters, it would go on our next rate study. If you guys would like a description of inactive meters, I can give that. It's kind of in the report. And really, we're looking to have an open discussion on inactive meters throughout the district, and whether you guys would like to see that in the next rate study, that people are starting to be charged for inactive meters, open discussion, and really no action to be taken tonight.
Comments, Director Wood?
Approximately how many inactive meters would we have?
Right now, currently, there's 777. If we fully charge them for the year, and they're still connected to the main, they're just locked off, and other districts do this, it's 170,000-ish, 169,883. So $169,883 a year that the district in inactive fees could be collecting on inactive meters. So with the service being inactive, if there's still a leak, district staff still has to fix the leak, has to continue to read the meter. So there's a lot of things that we continue to do, although we're not collecting fees from that inactive meter. So also have reached out to the attorney to make sure the process isn't as easy as we can redo inactive meters now, which it is not, because we have not been doing inactive meters for a long time. We would have to go through a Proposition 218 study again, and during our rate study, we'll be doing a Proposition 218 study, so I wouldn't want to throw it out as an extra cost for the district now. We'll be doing a Prop 218 study in early next year in a new rate study.
So it's a good time to have it.
It's a good time
discussion.
to have the discussion and see where you guys are pushing towards, and then adding it to our rate fees for the next year when our new rate study goes on.
Director Arthur.
I guess my question would be, are these absentee owners, or are these people, or just people who just have land that they haven't really developed?
Some are empty lots, for sure, that are just locked off. But some of them are houses that do not have service right now. So let's say the Lear area, for instance, they're not here full time. So when they come in, they call and sign up for service. Well, it's inactive most of the year, and then they call for a month, and we go and turn it on and shut it right back off when they're done. So it is empty lots. Now, we could also, in the process of doing inactives again, we could give people the opportunity to opt out of that meter and put the meter back on the shelf, where they don't have to do the inactives. They don't have to pay. We give them that opportunity again. But for the most part, they're not going to want to put a $13,000 service back in the ground once it's already there for that lot.
Not
So,
only that, it significantly increases their property value
yes.
to have that water meter.
Yeah, because that's, as I'm approaching this, I'm thinking about all the people who don't live in this area who are buying land and speculating, essentially. I'm just trying to get a grasp if that's who the bulk of this population is.
Some of them are, but again, you're going to probably in this one, for when the public gets involved for those discussions, there's investors here too that have lived here forever that own property that have a lot sitting with it locked off, and they don't pay anything right now. If that meter breaks or anything on the service line breaks to the main line, our district staff is there today fixing it. So it's even back in, I had a date down when we were collecting fees, we were at half. So what we would do is we would do half of the ready to serve. Still, for a district our size, that's, $85,000 for the year.
That's all I have.
Other than mishaps with the meter, what does an inactive meter cost us maintenance and materials wise?
Well, you got to think, we still
Do we
read
know?
it every month. We still bill out, and maybe if it's inactive, you're not sending the bill, you're still reading it to make
Okay.
sure, hey, nobody's tied into it. If somebody is tied into it illegally, we're obviously there making sure that we're there. So it's more time for the staff to be out there. But let's just say a meter or a service goes down and we're buying the material that we are at the rate. The money that we charge for inactive on a broken service line, one for the year isn't going to pay out
Yeah.
to make that repair.
So we have a month-to-month cost with the meter, whether it's actually flowing or not. So, okay, that's all I really want to know. Is we have some sort of cost that we're bearing or we're spreading out to other ratepayers
If something were to go
for that meter,
What's the average charge?
even if inactive. So that's all I want to know.
So
Thank
on the
you.
low end for ready to serve right now, I think it's 1822. That's a 1-inch meter at, no, that's a 3/4 or 5/8 meter. 1-inch meter is 2243, 2573. So, but again, doing some research myself with local districts, they're charging the full inactive.
Yeah.
If you are at a district that has a service, Joshua Basin right now has 726, and they get full ready to serve. That's double what ours would be. So there's 400,000 in revenue on inactive services. Just at
Yeah, well,
Joshua Basin.
they're costing us something to provide, and the other ratepayers that live in the area are paying for that. So I don't think that's right. So just want to know. Thanks.
I agree.
Would it be possible to put a discussion item on to a future agenda, even if it's not next month, for a talking point from management to be able to tell us what the actual cost of doing business is on an inactive meter? And I have another question. If, say, an inactive meter were to spring a leak, just say, is the owner of that inactive meter responsible for the water that comes out of that?
Currently?
Yes.
No.
So if it springs a leak and it costs $300 before someone from our organization finds that, we bear the cost of that?
We don't know the cost of that, because here's the thing, the meter is after your service. So you have your meter, you have your AMS. If your AMS goes down and you have a leak before the AMS, there's no way to calculate what you've lost. I don't have anything at like the main that says, oh, we're losing this much. So I could compare that to the AMS. They don't make that. So the meter is in the off position, the leak is on our side, we would take the brunt, we would lose it in water loss.
And there's 777 opportunities every month for that to happen.
Yes.
Because it's a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the agenda item background, it says that with the district not being able to collect the inactive meter monthly ready to serve fees, staff was forced to write off the inactive fees.
So I can't
Can-
remember the
can
year.
you
I'm
explain
kinda
that?
looking at Cindy. So 86, 87-ish, I remember as well, we wrote off 56,000 in inactive fees. What I would be saying is the district would take the opportunity to now make inactives a big deal, where we're not writing it off anymore. We're going after those owners, and we're making sure that
Yep.
we're getting
So the write-off was internal, not bills unpaid.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
Are the meters AMI or AMR connected?
Yes,
Yeah.
currently they are. Yep. Every meter in the district right now, except
Yep.
5, I believe.
So we've made the investment.
Are AMI, AMR, and they're the big hotels. So everybody is an AMI meter right now.
And just like the
The
San
inactives.
San Bernardino County Fire Department charges $175 a year for fire protection for every property, whether it's improved or not. Vacant land's included at the full price.
Now,
Thank you.
this is for the upcoming rate study, and we still have to do public comment.
Yeah,
and
public
whatnot
comment.
for that.
Everybody will have a public opportunity to, see who's on board and who's not. And
Right.
Because a month ago, I did see where some citizens, one was complaining online about some of our rates, but I did kind of chuckle because there were people who jumped in and from Joshua Tree who were like, oh, you don't want to pay what we're paying. So I think it's good to have that discussion, and have the public be able to give their comments on it.
And in your Prop 218 study, public
Right, do that.
Yes.
will have every opportunity.
Good. Any other comments? Great questions.
So future agenda item off of it, just maybe how much a month we feel those are costing the district.
and suggestions as to which one you can go with it.
But again, it sounds like the consensus would also agree that the inactive discussion on the next rate study is something that we're kind of shaking our heads.
Yes.
Yes,
That we agree.
it definitely.
Yes.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Yes.
Item number 3, consent calendar. Matters under the consent calendar, I'm going to let you read that because I can't see it to read it. Let's see, there will be no separate discussion on these items unless the board, staff, or public requests specific items to be removed or separate discussion. So that's what we
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Could you repeat that, please?
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you.
Second.
All those approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you, Director Woods. Item number 4, items removed from the consent calendar for discussion or separate action. Skip that. Item number 5, management reports. We're going to start with maintenance. Dr. Minnick,
Good evening, Board of Directors.
Superintendent. Sorry, Mike.
The Operation and Maintenance Department performed the following tasks during the month of January 2024. Responded to 70 underground service alerts, 1 fire hydrant and repair maintenance, performed 4 leak audits, 7 customer pressure checks, replaced 1 water meter, tested and exercised emergency generators, sounded wells for January. There were 640 customer service tasks performed. 1,495 past due bills totaled $10,517 in penalty fees. Pay meter report for January, there was 312,000 gallons of water used. It was a 9% increase compared to the same year in 2023. And in 2023, there's 288,000 gallons used. So the difference is 28,000 gallons roughly more we use this year in 2024. And if the board has any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions, Director Lee?
We did 0 shut-offs for non-payment, correct?
No, shut-offs for the month are on the back. I don't know if they got put down.
38 shut-offs,
38?
yes. Very low. And that contributes to the ladies in the front office making several attempts to call them, so I do appreciate the ladies.
So before we went bi-monthly, just real quick on shut-offs, I'll be fast. The big side of the district was about 75 shutdowns we would do in that month, and then the next side was about 40 or 50. So we almost had about 120 in a cycle. Now that we're reading both sides of the district and it's monthly billing, the ladies have made it a point to let's make more calls and kind of give those notices. Although we're doing the green door hanger, which is another $10 fee, they're also going above and beyond to say, hey, we don't want to shut off 125 people and then have this office staff just rush with people. So you do an amazing job getting payments different ways than we've done in the past to kind of make our shut-off day a lot easier. I don't know if as a small district like we are, we could shut off 125 people and then turn around and get 80 of them turned right back on, because that's usually what happens on shut-off day. So I just wanted to add that.
I know you have said this before, but could you say again, from my memory, approximately how many months does someone go with non-payment before you actually do a shut-off?
We're right around 4 months with SB 998. So, and that's, okay, so even though it's water for even the month before. So that's where you have that 3-month SB 998, and then you're still shutting off for back in the day. So like we just did shut-offs right now for the month of February,
No, we're in February.
We're in February, so we just did November's. We just did November's water shut-off in February. So SB 998 will not allow us on month 1 to go shut somebody off. We threaten, we do the door hangers the same way until that 3rd month into the 4th can we shut the water off.
Thank you.
So how many door hangers do you get? 4?
Just one door hanger.
Well,
Okay, just one.
If you
Okay.
count the other months, though, technically you are getting door hangers through the month, and that's a $10 fee every time.
Okay, that's what I was trying to
That
figure out.
was
So is
an
that
hourly
a
rate fee we did last
$40
time.
payment or a $10 payment one time?
Yeah, the door hanger.
I haven't got a green one. I've been late on my bill, but
What if the green one designated really,
There-
really late and you're gonna get shut off?
Yeah, and it has the date and the minimum payment before it's done.
15 days before you get shut off.
Obviously, I've never had one.
Good time.
Any other comments?
No, I'm not
None.
gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask.
What? Moving on to water quality. Superintendent Robert Shelton.
Water quality report for January 2024. Chlorine level maintained through the distribution system average of 0.41 milligrams per liter. Bacteria samples, a total of 40 routine samples collected through the distribution system, all came back absent for call alert. Fluoride samples, a total of 15 were collected at established test points throughout the distribution system, and the average was a 1.45 milligrams per liter. Production, we were down 0.28% compared to the prior year, and then we were down 18% from 2013 to this year.
Questions or comments? Director Wood? Director Arthur? Director Leeser?
thank you, Robert. None?
Director Coghill?
Thank you, Robert.
All right, next up we have finance. Cindy Byram.
Cindy Byram is missing. She had foot surgery. She will be gone for a couple months. Scott will be here next meeting, but I do have some stuff to report for December. At 50% of the year, non-operating revenues are at 57%, which is usually about where we're at right now. So we trend a little high in the cooler months. Revenue-wise, total operating expenditures, we are at 50% of the year, at 50% of the year. So that's a good thing. Investment report, I just want to let you know the last CD has matured through PacWest, and the district will continue to put money into class as we see the positive favorable interest rates. The interest revenue on line 10 will continue to exceed the budget, especially if the rates are favorable. So right now, if you go to line item 10 in interest revenue, it is like almost 300%, which is really good. And capital reporting, you guys approved moving some money, and it reflects in this budget that we got rid of the pay meter station job, and we put that $50,000 into the vehicle replacement for the vacuum trailer. That is reflected in this budget, so I just wanted to let you guys be aware, and if there's any questions, I'd love to try to answer them.
Questions, Director Wood? Director Arthur, Director
None?
Leeser?
Thank you.
No questions.
Thank you, Matt. Now you're up again.
I am up again. I will be quick. A few things, I just want to let you know that we're looking forward to the excavator trailer was ordered shortly after it was approved. We're looking at about another 6 weeks to receive that trailer. The redundant reservoir and booster station at the treatment plant went out to bid as far as engineering services, and the two proposals are on my desk. So it's exciting that we're going to have a pretty big job go out for the treatment plant for a redundant reservoir and a treatment plant or a booster station. So pretty excited there. We're pouring some concrete. So a lot of things that we do in-house is we'll do our own concrete pours, and right now we're doing a concrete pour at 2 Mile Booster Station for the emergency generator that's going to go in. We've had sitting out back. So Mike and Robert are working on that. The local hazard mitigation plan is close to being available for public comment. So we'll have to get that to a public comment review before it comes to you guys in final draft form. So local hazard mitigation is going well. The new hires yesterday were in SIMS and NIMS 100-700 training, which is emergency management training that we do here at the district through our consultant, Gary Sturdivant. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Our lead and copper survey is about 70% through. The lead and copper is an unfunded, unmandated regulation that California has set for every water district. We are 70% through. One of the water districts that's taken it pretty serious. We have to do an inventory on our side and on the customer side. So those blue door hangers going around are what this survey is about. We're getting to the Lear areas, which it's going to take us a little bit longer, and we have till October to get that complete. I wanted to thank Craig and Corey over at the city maintenance yard. We had a big main line leak and it was a tree root again, but the AC main blew up and 2 Mile Road was destroyed. It's nice that the city can come in and kind of help, especially on a big cleanup and vice versa. So I just want to give those guys a little bit of credit. Again, thank you, Director Leeser, for showing up on that hit hydrant and sticking it out with us till we had it shut off. It takes all of us to run this community and the water system. We always tell everyone that their eyes and ears are our eyes and ears, and a lot of times we get calls before the emergency line calls us, and that's exactly what happened on that day. So I just want to thank you personally. And Mike and Robert for getting that hydrant shut down with crews. I think we were there within 30 minutes. And the comment I remember hearing from the fire department is, you guys are by far the fastest ones that get here and get a system shut down. Down on that system, our lowest gradient, we were probably losing anywhere from 7,000 GPM, gallons per minute. So getting that shut off in 30 minutes, it's in the 6 million gallon reservoir, but getting it shut down as quick as we can is very important that we're not losing water. Because now what we have to do when a leak like that does occur is Mike gets a work order out that we have to predict how much water we lost. And we are predicting that. But because we have to then tell the state how much water we've lost in leaks, in hit hydrants, and everything else that we do every year. So thank the crew, and that is it for December.
So what size was the hydrant stub? 6 inch?
6 inch, yeah.
And what's our pressure there? 140, isn't that what you told me? Wow.
140 plus.
140.
Maybe 150 right there.
Yeah, you're coming off Adobe Road that day.
29.7 times square root of 3 times 0.9 for open, but
That's a lot of water.
fire hydraulics, yeah.
That's pointing my cheat sheet.
That's a lot of water.
It was a lot of water. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Questions, Director Wood?
No.
Director Arthur, Director Leeser?
None, thank you.
The reservoir that we're talking about down at the treatment center, is it going to have to be 14 feet off the ground like?
Oh, the
okay,
embankment, the
Well,
canton?
because we have the V-ditch built around that one, we're going to avoid that. Again, this is a redundant reservoir, so that when the finished water reservoir that's underground that needs to be retreated is going to go offline, our treatment plant just doesn't stop. This district could not suffice in the summer with that treatment plant being down. Building the redundant reservoir gives us the opportunity to shift water to that, and we have the reservoir to work on to recoat. And now we're going to have 2 reservoirs to ever juggle. You always try to build redundancy in a water system, whether it's 2 booster stations, 2 wells in the same zone. So as soon as one goes down and we've got to get an emergency crew out there to fix it, rehab it. This is part of that. You know, at first we were looking at a bypass reservoir, and we were going to spend a lot of money to just bypass it. And then when we fix the reservoir, it'll be up and running and we take all the bypass stuff down. Well, talking with staff and the direction the water district would always like to go is you build redundancy so you aren't relying on only one thing. You have that second reservoir ready to go. So building this redundant reservoir is really big. And my next project shortly after that will be building a second Campbell reservoir. That is the zone that a lot of that water goes to. It's only a 1-zone reservoir. A 1 reservoir zone, so having a second reservoir there would really help us with redundant services in that zone. So you'll see that shortly after, maybe 2 or 3 years after we get this redundant reservoir in.
And then we take down the existing reservoir at that well. Once this new project is done, we can take the bracing out of it that's causing part of the problem.
Yeah, so the coating issue second, that would be, so we'll finish this redundant reservoir. The next thing we'll do is get in the underground reservoir, recoat, take all the seismic bracing down that is becoming an issue.
Right.
That's the next job. The third job will be building Campbell Reservoir 2.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Questions, comments, Director Wood?
No.
Arthur? Nothing. Director Leeser?
None, thank you.
I have none except for please give me a definition of redundant, because it's used a lot in. And obviously redundant means different to me than it does to you. Because to me redundant means it simple doesn't really matter.
Okay,
And I don't think that's how it's meant for you.
will do.
Okay? Anybody want to, Director Woods, could you give us a definition for redundant?
Redundant means repetitive.
Repeated.
That's redundant.
So repeat that service, repeat that
It's redundant.
Redundant, yes.
Well, I was so proud of all my good grades in English. That's why I asked. All right.
Reader's Digest word for the day. It works.
You know, I quit getting that. I'll have to re-up for Reader's Digest.
You can use it all sorts of different ways.
All right. Future agenda items and staff tasks. Directors' comments and reports. We are going to include the inactive meter status information, more of that, so I've added that to there. Any other that you can think of you would like to see in the future? Okay. No, adjournment?
No motion for adjournment.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.